Dear students, welcome to my YouTube channel Pharma 15. Today we are going to discuss some MCQs on pre-formulation studies as per PCI syllabus for Industrial Pharmacy 1. We at Pharma 15 YouTube channel deliver the pharma education and the latest update. Let's start with the MCQs on pre-formulation studies. Question number 1. Pre-formulation means. Options are as follows. A. The stage of drug development in which the physical and chemical properties of a drug substance are evaluated towards the formulation of a stable dosage form. Option B. The stage of drug development in which the physical properties of a drug substance are evaluated towards the formulation of a stable, safe and effective dosage form. Option C. The stage of drug development in which the chemical properties of a drug substance are evaluated towards the formulation of a stable and safe dosage form. Option D. The stage of drug development in which the physical and chemical properties of drug substance are evaluated towards the formulation of a stable, safe and effective dosage form. And the right answer is option D. So pre-formulation is the stage of drug development in which the physical and chemical properties of a drug substance are evaluated towards the formulation of a stable, safe and effective dosage form. So pre-formulation is in short nothing but the study of physical chemical properties of a drug substance so that we can formulate a stable, safe and effective dosage form. Moving towards question number 2. Objectives of pre-formulation studies is A. To generate useful information to the formulator to design an optimum drug delivery system. Option B. To generate useful information to the formulator. C. To study physicochemical properties. D. To generate useful information. And the right answer is option A. So we can say the objectives of pre-formulation studies are to generate a useful information to the formulator to design an optimum drug delivery system. So as we have seen in the first question, that pre-formulation is a stage of drug development in which physicochemical properties of a drug substance are studied to design a safe drug delivery system. So the primary objective of pre-formulation studies is to generate useful information so that the formulator can design an optimum drug delivery system which is safe, stable and effective. Moving to question number 3. Which one of the following is not a physical properties of a drug substance according to pre-formulation studies? Now, as we know that in pre-formulation studies, we study physicochemical properties. So here the question is asked that which one is not a physical properties of a drug substance as per the pre-formulation studies. Options are degradation profile, particle size distribution, polymorphism, solubility. And the right answer is degradation profile. So in pre-formulation studies, we studies physicochemical properties such as particle size distribution, polymorphism, solubility. So degradation profile is not a physical properties of drug substance as per the pre-formulation studies. Moving to question number 4. The powder flow properties depends upon option A. Particle size, shape and density. Option B. Force of friction. Option C. Cohesiveness between one particle to another, or cohesion between one particle to another, and all of the above. And the right answer is all of the above. So the flow properties of powders mainly depends on the particle size, shape and density, force of friction, then cohesion between one particle to another. The instrument which is used for measuring the volume of particle is, options are hydrometer, balance, Anderson pipette, Coulter counter, and the right answer is option D. So the instrument which is used to measure the volume of particles is Coulter counter apparatus. Question number 6. Water molecules embedded in the crystal structure is known as, options are hydrates, solvate, metastable, stable. The right answer for this is option B, that is solvate. So whenever a water molecule is embedded into a crystal substance, it is known as solvate. So these questions are mainly from the polymorphism. Polymorphism is an important point with respect to your examination. Now moving towards question number 6, which is related to biopharmaceutical classification system. The question says the BCS is represented by 4 major classes, and the drugs are classified based on the 3 major factors governing viability, namely, the options are dissolution, solubility, dissolution rate, option B, dissolution, solubility, polymorphism, option C, solubility, absorption, distribution, option D, dissolution, solubility, permeation. And the right answer is option D, that is the BCS classification, which is having 4 classes, is mainly based on the 3 major factors governing viability, such as dissolution, solubility, and permeability. Means the dissolution of drug, the solubility of a drug, and the permeability of a drug are the 3 major factors governing viability as per BCS classification. Question number 8. Drugs with low solubility and high permeability belongs to dash class under BCS classifications. So as you know, there are 4 classes in BCS classification. So options are class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, and the right answer is answer B. So the drugs which are having low solubility and high permeability, they belong to class 2, and the drugs which are having high solubility and high permeability, they belongs to class 1. Question number 9. A powder has an angle of repose of 25. It means powder is having dash flow. As you know that angle of repose is one of the parameters to study the flow properties of a powder. So for this question, the 4 options which are given are option A, excellent, option B, good, option C, passable, option D, poor. So whenever a powder is having an angle of repose of 25, it means that it has a good, excellent, or pourable, or poor property. That question has been asked over here. So when a powder has an angle of repose of 25, it means it has an excellent flow property. So as the angle of repose is 25, it is having an excellent flow property. If it is good, the angle of repose is 30. So if it is up to 40, so when it goes on increasing, we can say the angle of, that is the flow property, it goes on decreasing. Then question number 10, a Hossner ratio, if it is equal to more than that of 1.25, indicates the powder is dash flowing. The options are free, fair, passable, poor, and the right answer is option A. So whenever the Hossner ratio, if it is more than that of 1.2.5, it indicates that the powder will be free flowing. Question number 11. Existence of a drug in more than one crystalline form is known as. So this is an easy question to answer, as you have studied this in second year also under the chapter that is polymorphism. So the options which are given for these questions are crystalline, polymorphism, solvation, none of the above. So whenever a drug exists in more than one crystalline form, it is known as polymorphism. Okay, so this process is known as, or this phenomena is known as polymorphism. The full form of ICH is, options are Indian Control Harmonization, International Conference on Harmonization, International Cricket Harmonization, option D, none of the above. The right answer is option B, that is International Conference on Harmonization. So International Conference of Harmonization, Conference on Harmonization is an regulatory body which was constituted by USA, Japan, Europe and the regulatory agencies, so that everything could be standardized for the substances which are used for the purpose of human beings. So this is one of the regulatory guidelines which there are various regulatory guidelines which are given by ICH such as quality, safety, efficacy and multidisciplinary. So this can be asked for you, so please have a detailed reading on ICH guidelines also, mainly which are the 4 categories such as quality, safety, efficacy and multidisciplinary. Now moving towards question number 13. A drug absorbs through a lipoidal membrane in which form? Whether it is in ionized form, salt form, unionized form or none of the above. And the right answer is option C, that is unionized form. So as per pH partition theory, the drug which are in an unionized form, they are going to get absorbed through the lipoidal membrane easily. Question number 14. The following equation indicates that the pK of an acid is equal to the pH of the solution when molar concentration of acid and its conjugate base are equal. So which is that equation? The options given are as follows, that is Bronsted-Lowry concept, then Harry-Weinberg equation, then Anderson-Hasselbalch equation, none of the above. And the correct answer for this question number 14 is option number 6, that is Anderson-Hasselbalch equation. So Anderson-Hasselbalch equation indicates that the pK of an acid is equal to the pH of the solution when the molar concentration of acid and its conjugate base are equal. Now moving towards next question, that is question number 14. The following is true regarding log P of drug molecule. So what is true when a drug is having a low log P value? So the drug is highly hydrophobic, drug is highly hydrophilic, drug dissolution is endothermic, drug is insoluble in water. And the correct option for this is option B, that the drug is highly hydrophilic. So whenever a drug is having a low log P value, it means that the drug is highly hydrophilic. And if a drug is having a high log P value, it means the drug is highly lipophilic in nature. Which one of the following is the flow property parameter of powder? Compressibility index, Hausner's ratio, angle of repose, all of the above. And the right answer is option D, that is all of the above. Now the flow properties of powders are mainly studied by using these 3 parameters, that is compressibility index, which is also called as Carr's index, then Hausner's ratio and angle of repose. So dear student, please study the formula for all these parameters which are used to determine the flow properties of the powders. Question number 16. The decrease in potency of a drug to 90% is known as. So whenever the potency of a drug is decreased to 90%, what it is known as, that is asked in this question. So the option given are dissolution, shelf life, prodrug, solubility. And the right answer is option B, that is shelf life. So whenever a drug potency is decreased to 90%, it is known as shelf life of the drug. Question number 17. The ratio of unionized drug distributed in aqueous and organic phase is known as. So now here we are talking about a ratio of an unionized drug when it is distributed in aqueous and organic phase. So what it is called as? The option given are dissociation constant, ionization constant, partition coefficient, all of the above. And the right answer is partition coefficient. So whenever we have a ratio of an unionized drug distributed in aqueous and organic phase, it is known as partition coefficient. Question number 18. Drugs having pKa value around 8 are absorbed through which part of the GIT? Options are stomach, mouth, intestine, and none of the above. And the correct option is option C, that is intestine. So the drugs which are having a pKa value around 8, they are mainly absorbed from the gastrointestinal tract region of, that is mainly the intestine region of the GI tract. Now the drugs, next question is regarding the drugs having solubility less than 0.1 mg per ml comes under which category? Options are freely soluble, very soluble, slightly soluble, practically insoluble. So when a drug is having a solubility less than that of 0.1 microgram per ml, means the drug is practically insoluble. So the right option for question number 19 is practically insoluble. So if a drug is having a solubility less than that of 0.1 microgram per ml, it means it is practically insoluble. Coming to next question, that is Kar's index or complexity index gives an idea about. So the options are flow properties of powder, cohesiveness of powder, both, none. And the right answer for this is both, because Kar's or the compressibility index gives us the idea about the flow properties of the powder as well as the cohesiveness of the powder. So this is the parameter which not only gives you the idea of the flow properties of powder but also the cohesiveness of the powders. Question number 21st, that is following is true about the true order of the solubility. So when you talk about the nature of a compound based on whether it is amorphous, metastable or stable, which is the true order of solubility. So the option given are option A, amorphous is more than that of metastable then stable, option B, metastable, amorphous, stable, option C, stable more than that of amorphous, amorphous more than that of metastable, and option D, stable more than that of metastable and metastable more than that of amorphous. And the right answer is option A, that is amorphous. Having amorphous drug, they have more solubility as compared to metastable drugs. Metastable drugs are having more solubility as compared to stable. So this is the true order of solubility, that is amorphous is more than that of metastable, metastable is more than that of stable. Now coming to question number 22nd. Now as I told you, polymorphism is one of the important topic from pre-formulation. So one of the drug, that is chloramphenicol palmitate, occurs in dash crystalline polymorphic form. The options are 2, 3, 5, 6, and the right answer is option B, that is chloramphenicol palmitate occurs in 3 crystalline polymorphic form. Moving towards next question, that is question number 23. Loss of water is associated with, option given are hygroscopic substances, polymorphic substances, efflorescent substances, and deliquescent substances. And the right option is option C, that is the efflorescent substances are the substances where there is a loss of water. So loss of water will be mainly associated with the substances which belongs to the category of efflorescent substances. Now, which of the following method is used to determine the surface area of particle? Now specifically here we are talking about the surface area of the particle. So which method is used to determine the surface area of the particle? For options are sedimentation, hydrometer, Coulter counter, and adsorption method. And the right answer is option D, that is adsorption method. So to determine the surface area of particle we use adsorption method. Now coming to the last question, which of the following method is used to determine the partition coefficient of the drug? So options are Shake-Flask method, solubility determination, dissolution determination, none of the above. And the right answer is option A, that is to determine the partition coefficient of drug we use Shake-Flask method. So thank you dear students for listening this video patiently. Thank you very much. So we at our Pharma 15 YouTube channel try to make the things very simple with a motto delivering the pharma education and latest update. Thank you. So all the best for your tomorrow's exam dear students, and please focus on topics from pre-formulation studies such as polymorphism, then flow properties, then BCS classification. These are the important points. So some of the MCQs we have already discussed. So with this we'll stop over here.